One thing I have come to realize is that we we know about these things, right? We are conscious of these things to an extent, but we are not consistent at doing the right thing. Like sometimes I just start doing the right thing 1 or 2, 3 days or a week, and boom, I've gone back to where I started yet. So if we're not consistent, there's no how we can really get the results that we want. So consistency is very key, and that is just a quick reminder. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Olabisi Adeomi, and you can call me Olami. So if this happens to be your first time watching my video, you're welcome. Note that this channel is about business tips, chit chats, lifestyle content, and personal vlogging. So stay tuned for loads of heart to heart conversations, business ideas, career ideas, and loads of lifestyle content. So guys, in today's video, we are talking about productivity, and there are several reasons why we can be really unproductive, and I am here to share with you some of these reasons that I know of, and also give few tips on how to become productive. So I have about 10 to 12 productive tips that I would love to share with you. So if you can stay to the end of this video, then you definitely will benefit a lot from it. So there are several reasons why we can be unproductive, and one of the reasons is your mentality. If you believe that okay, you're not productive because everyone says you're not productive, of course you can be productive. If someone keeps telling you, or if people around you keeps telling you, oh, you're not productive, or you're lazy, or you procrastinate a lot, then you will not be productive. And of course, you make that a part of you, and you accept that narrative about you, which is very wrong. So you want to probably change the mentality or the belief that you are unproductive and start seeing things differently. And another reason why you can be unproductive is also boredom. If you're bored and the environment isn't lively, and you are the type that likes to perform under like an active environment, like a busy environment, then you can really be unproductive. Or when you have so much in your mind, you have so much in your head, if you're the type that overthink, you can be unproductive. All these things affect your productivity. And another reason why we can be unproductive, like I said earlier, is procrastination. When you keep moving what you have to do now to later and later and later and later, you're probably like this last minute kind of person. That's not a problem. It's all right to be a last minute person, but you want to understand that priorities matters, and prioritizing your things is very important. So the third reason or the fourth reasons why I think that we can be unproductive is anxiety. If you're the type that gets scared, especially when you have so much to do, I can be like that when I have to meet deadlines. I don't like meeting deadlines because I get scared. Like I'm always trying to avoid last minute. I do not like multitasking. So instead of being multitasking, I try as much as possible to make sure that I don't overload myself each day. I just pick the important things that I need to do and I move on. So multitasking is one huge reason why we can be very, very unproductive. I believe it has happened to everyone. And yes, there are really ways to go about those things to avoid, being unproductive because you're nervous or because you have so much to do. Multitasking can really make you feel overwhelmed. And if you're not the type that if you're not the type that can work under pressure, you will find it hard to multitask. I am like that. I do not like to multitask. I just like to pick few things to do each day and move on to the next day. Whatever I can complete that day is what I can complete. And that is reason I always avoid deadlines. So not being time conscious and also lack of priorities are great enemies of productivity. Oh my god. If you're not time conscious, if you're a time waster, there's no way you can be productive. I tend to not do things the right way or do them the right time. So of course, they are great enemies of productivity. Prioritizing is so important. You want to make sure you prioritize and focus on things that really matters. One thing I have come to realize is that we we know about these things, right? We are conscious of these things to an extent, but we are not consistent at doing the right thing. Like sometimes I just start doing the right thing 1 or 2, 3 days or a week, and boom, then I have to replan, and you know it's just crazy, man. It's really crazy. If we're not consistent, there's no how we can really get the results that we want. So consistency is very key, and that is just a quick reminder that you have to be consistent at whatever works for you. That routine that works for you, you have to stick to it and repeat it over and over and over again, and see how it turn out and give you that result you're looking for. The best results that you really, really need at the end of everything. But if you're not consistent, there's really no how you can get the results that you want. Number one is that you have to create routines that works for your kind of person. We are different in so many ways, and so the same thing cannot work for every one of us. It has to be different things from time to time. So because you have to like create these routines, you also have to like stick to them. Stick to routines that works for you. Stick to it for as long as it keeps working for you until you realize that it's no longer working or they're no longer working for you, and you want to like go back to the drawing board and create a new routine or plan a new no make a new plan, and also re-strategize about how you want to go and how you want to stick to being productive. So, guys, my second tip is that you set your money vibes. Like, I cannot in any way overemphasize this. You have to set a good vibe in the money is so important, like early money. So, thirdly, you want to make sure that you build your self care routine and stick to it as well. Anything that works for you as your self care routine. So, you want to make sure that you have fun while you're at it, have fun while you're busy, running error for that boss. Have fun while you're busy, meeting up with those clients. Have fun while you're busy doing different things that you have to do. Your daily, weekly, monthly activities. Ensure to have fun. Ensure to take break in between. 5 to 10 minutes break, 20 minutes break, 30 minutes break isn't too much during these tasks. You want to also make sure that you take break, right? And also while you're taking break, you also want to be sure that you set reminders. Set reminders to remind you of important meetings, remind you of important emails that you need to send, remind you of that task that you need to get done at so period. Even set time, set reminders for your prayer time, set reminders for eating time, set reminders for the time you need to take a break as well. Set reminders for whatever it is that you need to set reminders for. It's also so important to set reminders every single time in order to like stay focused and stay on track. Stay on track and stay productive. Ensure to plan your next day, which is all about setting daily goals. You just have to set goals, and that is where your reminder also comes in. When you set these goals, okay, by 2 a.m. or by 2 p.m., I want to do this, I want to do that. You have to set reminders alongside these goals, and you want to make sure that you achieve those goals each day. And even if you have to move some goals to the next day, you want to be sure that you focus on those goals first, so that you can, assure yourself of the fact that you have completed the previous day tasks or activities, or you have achieved the goals for the previous day, and it is time to like move on to the next day. So, of course, you want to be sure that you set daily goals. It's important as well. You want to be sure that you prioritize attacks. Put what is important first. Always put what is important first. Don't forget that. Always put what is important first and be consistent at doing things the right way. Just be consistent. It can be really hard to be consistent, but you just have to be consistent. It can be hard. Also, you want to be sure that you avoid multitasking. It's not healthy for anyone. It's not good. I'm not going to lie. If there's any company you want to work with that is asking you, can you multitask or can you work? Can you work under pressure? Please just tell them you can manage pressure. You cannot work under pressure, and there are ways to manage pressure. Like there are ways to still achieve lots of things at a particular time or at a period of time and not kill yourself. So yeah, manage pressure. Try to avoid having to do so much at the same time. And even when you have to meet targets or when you have to meet deadlines, make sure you do important things first. And of course, you can also always do the difficult ones first to avoid wasting time. You can always do the important ones. And the important ones can be the simple ones as well. So you just want to be sure that, okay, this is important and you want to do it first. That is how it is. And that is what I stick to. I just make sure that okay, this is more important, and I go ahead and do it first. Okay, this is difficult, but I have to do it, and I do not want it to take so much of my time. So I tend to like focus on it for few hours and be sure that I get it done. Then I take a break and come back to continue with whatever it is that I need to do next. So that has been working for me, and it might also work for you. You never can tell. And finally, guys, you want to be sure that you avoid too much of screen time. It is not healthy for anyone. It is not healthy for you. Avoid screen time. Avoid, stressing your eyes off. You really need to avoid that because I have difficulty sleeping. And one thing that has affected my sleeping habit, I think, is screen time because I can be awake working till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., in fact, 4 a.m. And I just do not see the reason why I have to like keep doing that. So I went back to my plans that this is not working and I canceled it. I can't be working till late night and during the day I have, it's difficult for me to be productive. And that's another thing. If you cannot go to bed early, it might affect your money. So if you're a night person, ensure that you stick to being a night person. And if over time you want to try new things, of course, that's not a problem. You can try to be a money person if it works for you. And if you're a money person, just stick to being a money person if it works for you. But being a money person and you want to also try being, a night person is not going to work that way. So I think I'm actually a night person, right? And this has affected my money a whole lot. It affects my money severally. I have to make sure that okay, this is the time I must wake up every day, and I must stick to that time. If not, it might really affect no my productivity. Same thing with the time I go to bed. I have to be sure that okay, this is the time I must go to bed, and this is the time I must get up from the bed each day. So avoid screen time in order to not stress your eyes off. Don't stress your eyes and don't stress your brain. Go to bed early and ensure you wake up early if that is what is going to be working for you. And if you want to be sleeping during the day and just be awake all night working, it's also cool if it works for you. But the fact that I'm a night person does not mean that I want to be sleeping that late. I don't ever want to be sleeping as late as 2, 3 a.m. because I'm a night person. I believe if I'm a night person, it should just be that I go to bed probably by 12 a.m. Latest 1 a.m. and I'm off for that day. So by the time I wake up the next morning and get to the gym, shower, make breakfast, do this, do that. Of course, time would have gone. So I would want to go back to bed, and that's what I've been doing. I want to go back to bed. So I had to really re-strategize and replan that okay, this is not working, this is not good, it's affecting my productivity again. So you just have to make sure you know yourself and you know the things that works for you and the things that do not work for you, and you want to ensure you stick to that thing. If not, it will affect your productivity. So guys, I have come to the end of this video, and I hope that you find this video helpful. If you do, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like, and of course, don't forget to share with someone. It might really be of help to them. And I will definitely see you in my next video. Bye for now.